Hello. Hi, everybody. Hi, how are you? How's everybody doing? You doing good? Everybody, where's everyone watching from? Where are you watching from? How's it going, everybody? Hi, how are you? We're gonna get started in a minute here. Just a second. Oh, here we go. We got a lot of good stuff to talk about. The ball pit story, the sombrero story. I don't know if any of you guys have been following. You're watching me at work. I don't know if that's good. You can still watch me at work. We're gonna learn a lot of stuff. It's good. So has everybody watched or seen some of my stories from this week, or no? Either way is fine. You're allowed. I'm going to plug this in really fast. Miami, that sounds awful. What? 1 second. Okie dokie. All right, everybody. So thank you for watching, and we're going to get started here. So I don't know how many of you guys have seen my stories from this week. There's a lot of new crazy stuff going on campuses. Did anybody see the one from the Sombrero one this week? A university professor or a football coach at Cornell University, which is supposed to be, the best and the brightest in this country. He tweeted out a picture of two of his players wearing sombreros, and there wasn't any, so he had to apologize for cultural appropriation. It wasn't anything but two dudes wearing a particular kind of hat. Basically, I guess what happened is this coach, he uses the best players from the team, or they had the best game. He puts a hat on them, and it's the big hat, and it's the big sombrero is what they call it. But everybody freaked out, and they said this picture was incredibly offensive, or extremely offensive. A student assembly member tweeted out that it was extremely offensive, which I think that's kind of crazy, because I think that calling a picture extremely offensive should be reserved for pictures that are extremely offensive, instead of, a picture of two dudes in a hat. Aren't weaves cultural appropriation? I don't know. I guess they might be. Thanks, Michael. I have a weave. I don't have it in today. Look, I just have my normal weird ugly hair in today. But I think that they probably would be. I don't know. I've written a thing about that. But so some of the people, he had to really seriously apologize. He said, "I'm truly sorry for the culture and sensitivity, and understand how our expression of pride came at the expense of others in the community." Because I kind of feel like two dudes wearing a certain kind of hat is coming at the expense of nobody. And it's really interesting, because I don't know if anybody's been following me, or if they've been following this cultural appropriation type of thing. They know that sombreros are actually, something that is people, they're at the center of cultural appropriation controversies all the time. I know that sounds ridiculous, but at other schools, it's more like if you throw a party that's a Mexican theme and everybody's wearing a sombrero and eating tacos and drinking tequila, then it gives students the idea that, this is cultural appropriation because they're calling it a Mexican theme, and Mexico is about more than just sombreros and tacos and tequila. First of all, I think that that's ridiculous, because I really don't think that anybody is actually going to a fraternity party and thinking that it's a cultural history museum. I think they're just going to it thinking it's a fraternity party. How do they feel about Cinco de Mayo? Steve says, how do they think about Cinco de Mayo where these same people are out getting drunk all night long? Yeah, that's a huge problem. People get really, really mad about Cinco de Mayo parties because they say, you know, this is cultural appropriation. It makes everyone think that Mexico is just like this party. And obviously nobody that I know, at least, is going to a frat party and thinking that that's what Mexico is like, if it's like a fiesta themed party, because it's just a party. But this instance is different because everybody was mad just about the hat. The picture was just the two kids wearing the hats. It didn't say anything about Mexican anything. It didn't claim to represent Mexican culture. It didn't even claim to represent a Mexican party theme. It was just two dudes wearing a certain kind of hat, and he had to apologize. And the thing that's interesting about that is if you go back and you're demanding that, you know, some people say you need to know that, really to understand the historical implications behind the hat in order to wear it. Okay, so the mortarboard hats that people wear on graduation, the flat ones, those are believed to have originated from a style of hat that the clergy in the Roman Catholic Church wore. And I don't see anybody asking, you know, students to become educated on the Roman Catholic Church before they wear those kind of hats. And I actually kind of think that's fine. I don't think that they should have to do that. So they're asking for ridiculous things. Absolutely. Take the glasses off. No, Steve and I won't. If we have any other questions about the story or about anything related to the story, then that's fine. I will take anyone's questions. But it was, you know, it was really, really, really a very, very serious issue on this campus. The most interesting thing about it is there was still, thankfully, some people who were not incredibly offended. There was even one Mexican-American football player who said, I'm having trouble seeing how this is in any way so offensive. If I showed this picture to my family in Mexico, they would certainly laugh and be excited that our team incorporates a part of the Mexican heritage in celebrating our player awards. This is being blown up by sensitive people on social media who aren't even of relevance to the Mexican culture. Yeah, a lot of these students were white students and didn't really understand, you know, that they just are getting mad on behalf of other people. And the fact that we use things like harm and this really hurts people, or Bodo in college, which I've talked about before, somebody had a tequila themed party here, and because the party was tequila themed and people were eating tacos, they said, oh, this is a Mexican themed party, and you know, therefore it's offensive. And the college took it so seriously that they actually brought counselors on campus. One second. They actually brought counselors on campus to help students deal with having to be around a space where students were wearing sombreros and drinking tequila at the same time. They had safe spaces and counselors for that. I think counseling is great, but I think if you need a counselor for having to be on the same campus where people were wearing sombreros and drinking tequila on the same time, then you probably needed to seek counseling for just your general issues a lot sooner than before that you know, this actually had to happen. So if you have any questions about that, we will, you know, I'm still talking about that.